Every millionaire knows that if you want to do great things, you have to do fewer things. It's time to destroy your distractions so that you can have a millionaire's work-life balance. I want you to understand one thing, that as an entrepreneur, you need to build your business around your life and not your life around your business. This is a huge mistake that so many beginner entrepreneurs make. So let me walk you through this using these two boxes, okay? This is a regular week. There's 168 hours in here. And what most beginner entrepreneurs do is they start a business and then they say, I'm gonna put all 168 hours towards work. And they end up burnt out. They end up with anxiety attacks. It happened to me. See, back when I was 29 years old and on the verge of my first $1 million, what happened was I had no boundaries in my life. And I would work all the time because I could work all the time. And I devoted my life to work, which hurt me in so many ways. And I don't want that to happen to you. Now, the smart entrepreneur comes along and says, this is how many hours I'm going to work. And then they make their business fit inside this box, leaving a lot of room for their life. So let's help you do that so that you have the ultimate in work-life balance while actually making you a better entrepreneur so that you actually make more money and work fewer hours. Yeah, I know it sounds impossible, but I'm going to show you exactly how to do it. All right, the first lesson that I want to give you is the paradox of structure. Structure equals freedom. Now I know what you're thinking. No, structure doesn't equal freedom. I don't want more structure. I don't want more rules in my life. And listen, I understand that most people resist rules and structure in their life because they don't like it when it's forced from an external factor upon them. We resist, we rebel. But when you put structure into your life, you actually become more effective. You get more done, you have less stress, and you have more success. There's a great author named Paulo Coelho who says it much more eloquently than me. He says, discipline and freedom are not mutually exclusive, but mutually dependent, because without discipline, we sink into chaos. And that's what happened to me when I was 29 years old. I woke up one morning after a late night of binge drinking, got into the shower, and my heart started to jackhammer. And that went on for an entire 12 hours until I finally gave up and went to the emergency room thinking I was having a heart attack. But it wasn't a heart attack. It was an anxiety attack that I had because there was too much freedom in my life. There was no boundaries, and I needed structure. And I woke up the next morning and I started to build in wake-up times and cutoff times and stop times for work, and building in more free time for myself to take care of myself as a professional athlete so that I could get more done and work less. You see, as an entrepreneur, you need to see yourself as a professional athlete. You need to have the proper rest and recovery, the proper nutrition, and the proper training. We don't make LeBron James go out and play 48 straight minutes of basketball. No, he gets rest. He gets halftime, he gets quarter timeouts, he gets TV timeouts, and he gets substituted off. He doesn't simply play until he's exhausted. No, they help put in the rest breaks so that he maintains high performance. You can't be in playoff mode all the time. You're only going to end up in trouble. So when you have that boundaries, when you have the structure in your life, you will actually end up with more freedom. When you have very disciplined mornings, when you have very dialed in and scheduled and scripted out days, you're going to be able to get work done on time so that you can go home and be present with your family or your girlfriend, boyfriend, spouse, whatever it is that you have in your life right now, even your health and your hobbies. You're going to be able to go home and be fully present instead of being that person who's half on the phone and half paying attention. That really kills your kids and it kills your relationship and it just kills everything because you aren't fully aware. That's not balance. Now, I'm not saying that balance is 8 hours of sleep and 8 hours of work and 8 hours of family time. It doesn't have to be like that either. But as Jim Rohn once said, wherever you are, be there. Just make sure that whatever you're doing, you're focused on it and not giving your attention somewhere else. Forget about multitasking and instead give yourself to the singularity of focus. Focus is something you control. And that brought me to this great realization when I was a young man struggling with those anxiety attacks. I realized that I needed to control what I can. And I stole this from Stoic philosophy. Epictetus was a famous philosopher who lived 2,000 years ago, and he had an amazing phrase: control what you can, Cope with what you can't control and concentrate on what counts. And I realized that applied perfectly to the entire day, right? In the morning, we control what we can. We have the greatest control in the morning about what time we get up, what we do first thing, and what we eat or drink, what time we leave for work or get started at work. As the day goes on, though, more external factors come into our life and we have to cope with the chaos. Now, that's the only thing that you can do by planning and preparing in advance and being prepared for those emergencies that are going to come your way. And we do all of that control in the morning, the coping with the chaos, so that we can concentrate on what counts at night, so that we can have a hard cutoff time to our workday, the boundaries, the structure that I mentioned before, so that again, you can free yourself and make that transition from work you to parent you, or at home you, or spouse you, or whatever it is that you need to be outside of your work. You see, that's balance. Balance is focus. Balance is presence. Balance is not an equal split in the time, but an actual singularity of focus in attention. And when you have that in place, you're going to make massive progress towards your big goals and dreams, because you'll get more done at work and you'll have deeper relationships in your family. So even if you aren't there for a full 8 hours sitting with your kids at the kitchen table or sitting with your spouse on the couch, the moments and minutes and even hours that you are there are going to mean so much more to them. Now, how do you even know what matters? This is where the power of self-reflection and introspection comes in. So many people go through life without thinking. They never make a cause and effect relationship between I do this action and it brings this result, whether it's good or bad. And so they go through life reactionary, not proactive and planning and preparing in advance, but instead just reacting in the moment. And that causes a lot of stress. Now, on the other hand, someone who is proactive has more success. They've built a playbook for their life. Now, listen, if you've ever gone to a Broadway musical, or you've watched your favorite movie, or even if you've gone and watched a concert, those people aren't making it up as they go along. So why would you expect to succeed as an entrepreneur in both business and in your own life without some type of playbook? You have to script the plays, you have to script your days. And when you have that all set up, you're really setting yourself up for the success that you want. But wait a minute, what is the success I even want? That all comes back to the self-reflection step, which is called creating your vision. Your vision is like writing the movie script for your life. I often bring in my clients, I sit them down, and before we even get into Facebook ad strategy, marketing strategy, email, copy, productivity, or delegation, I ask them, what do you want your business and life to look like in 5 years from now? If I don't know that and they aren't clear on that, then we're going to make a lot of wrong decisions. We're going to go on a lot of detours because it's going to get away from where they want to get to. Imagine creating your vision like building out a treasure map. X marks the spot, and having that vision gives us the exact step-by-step, straightest line to success to get there. But if you don't have that, you're willing to go this way and that way, chasing shiny objects, which is the death of work-life balance for the entrepreneur. So when you have your vision, your self-reflection and introspection, and you combine that with structure and boundaries in your life, you keep yourself out of trouble. Trust me. As someone who has been there and done that and been overworked, burned out, anxious, and actually going to the emergency room, not once, but twice, thinking I was having a high-performance heart attack, the only way to be successful in life with work-life balance is to build singularity of focus, structure, boundaries, know your vision, and always go back to self-reflection and introspection to see how you can get better every single day. And when you do that, my friend, you'll achieve your big goals and dreams. You'll do that without so much stress that you end up, burnt out or anxious, having panic attacks, or destroying the relationships that you've worked so hard to build. So the weird thing is, by putting boundaries in place, by putting structure in place, by having a clear vision and roadmap for your life, it all sounds so rigid, but it's actually the formula for true freedom. The weight of the world will be lifted off your shoulders. You'll have a clear North Star that will guide you along every step of the way. And you won't destroy what's so important to you, like I almost did back when I was that all over the place entrepreneur. So trust me, work-life balance and $1 million bank account and the life of your dreams is all within your control. if you plan and prepare for it today. If you need the playbook for achieving your big goals and dreams in your business while maintaining that work-life balance according to your definition, then what I want you to do next is go to craigballantyne.com/apply to be my next Millionaire student. And I can't wait to see you as my next success story.